So it's night checks, night feeds. Many of you guys are wondering how many times do we feed the horses, and everyone feeds their horses, different amount of times, right? Whatever works for them. But what we found is that feeding them more often is a lot better for their digestive system and creates less colic. For those of you that don't know what colic is basically the horses get constipated, the hay gets stuck in their intestines, and it's an emergency situation. You have to call the vet comes, does a whole procedure. Quite expensive, especially if it happens often. So in order to prevent that, we make sure the horses always have a lot of water. We always refill their water buckets, make sure the water buckets are clean, but we also feed them basically like every 4 to 5 hours. So as you can see now, they're eating about 2 flakes of hay. We feed them this in the morning, like at 7:30 in the morning, and then we take them out. They're usually in the pasture, so they're munching on some grass. They always need to be grazing, right? A horse's digestive system is basically empties them out every 4 hours. Every 4 hours, their stomach is empty. And a horse's stomach creates a lot of acid. And that's acid, if they don't have anything in their stomach, can create ulcers. And that creates a problem later on as well. So in order to avoid that, we try to keep them eating, consistently every few hours. So like I said, we feed them hay in the morning. We take them out to the pasture. They're munching on grass all day. Then we bring them in. We probably go out there if it's rainy or if the pasture is too wet and they're like in their dry lots, and we throw more hay in there like at 2 p.m. or something for a little snack. Then we bring them in like at 5:30, sometimes 6:30, depending if the weather's nice, and feed them again. Feed them another 2 flakes of hay with their grain, right? They get grain in the morning and they get grain at 5:30, 6 p.m. Then we come back at night, like anywhere between 9 to 10 p.m. Feed them some more hay. We put it in these special bags so that they can take their time munching it. That way they're not done with it right away. As you can see, this guy is eating the hay out of those bags. They pull it out of there, and it takes a little bit longer for them, so it lasts them a little bit longer. It gives them something to do. We've also found that using those bags keeps them busy, right? It takes them longer to eat it, but it keeps them busy for more time, so they have less time to just sit there and try to cause a mess. Horses, you have to keep them preoccupied, otherwise they start breaking out, they start kicking, they start eating the wood. So you want to keep them occupied. And we found that this method works best for us. Now there's other ranches that feed them twice a day and feed them more grain. There's other people that leave them out all day and night, during good weather or bad. And that's supposed to be very good for the horses as well. But, you have to have your area kind of secluded. We're right by the road, so we don't like doing that, keeping our horses out all night. But that's what works for us. Those of you guys that were wondering how much they eat, that's how much they eat. And here's Laura preparing the bags for the morning.
I just work here.
Yeah, she just works here. But anyway, if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, just leave a comment and we'll be happy to answer that for you. Have a good one.